But, of course, we're not done yet. I wish it didn't kick you all the way back out. I wish it just kicked you to this menu. Also, you can't put glasses on in arcade mode. That's a genuine complaint. That's a dumb complaint. I'm sticking by it. That's a complaint I have. Anyway, chapter 2. Hi, Alpha again. Yeah, it's a much more story-driven arcade mode. I hope they just do this from now on. I don't know if I can stand 3 chapters of Robokai. I can split it by chapter, but I already kind of talked in such a way that I don't know how easy it'll be to actually cut up them into different parts, now that I think about it. I probably should have left more of a spoken gap in between. So, oopsie. Didn't think that through.
You know, I've been thinking. Calm down. Deep breaths.
Alphonse is very cute, but also, she's a lot.
There's really only one way it can turn out. Prince Charming goes a mysterious bunny. Try it again. Give Usagi a deep, look, kiss. Please don't be so hasty. It's just that might frighten poor Usagi. It'd be lovely if things turned out like in fairy tales, but yeah, you wanna fantasize is not my guess. This Fusi may look cute, but who knows what else is hiding in his mouth? No, thank you. How can you both be such party poopers? I was only daydreaming of how nice it'd be. That's all.
Alrighty, we've got another double battle, so oops, Alphon, you're gonna get obliterated. Okay, the CPU actually remembers to use almost a World of Light. I've been playing Brawl to unlock everything for the Fox Girls favorites. Because of the timing of this video versus the actual streams, spoilers I guess, that's coming up in like 5 months from now. Given I still have to edit like all Super Paper Mario. No, I've edited that, all Mario Galaxy, and put that up. I'm so behind on like video work. When you're dividing things up into like episodes, it takes a bit. Also, my feed's really behind because when I opened the game, I dropped like 500 frames. So like, I should probably reset my preview. If you are like really behind, you can probably refresh to catch back up. Because yeah, that's not exactly great. This like big orb, I forget the name of all of her moves, is really plus, I'm pretty sure.
Calm yet, crazy girl? Yes, I'm sorry. Nothing feeds an imagination like a mystery. Speaking of feeding, though, I'm sure your Prince Charming will come back to your cart. Back to the scene of the crime? I doubt it. He may be writing a formal apology as we speak. You said he clearly enjoyed the food after all. He might get a craving so strong he has to come back. You're a daydreamer too, huh? What she said! Disney's only lived out the greatest romance in the history of romances after all! Until he returns, try to get along with Usagi, won't you? A dish seasoned with love shines like a beacon. He follows the unforgettably rich scent of romance, and the rabbit of happiness leads the way! Oh! Sorry, but I don't season any dishes with love. Oh, but I was so moved by your cooking, Jam. Are you sure love's not your secret ingredient? Of course not. If love's all it took to make a great dish, there'd be no chefs. Oh, right. Then the love's outside the dish. It must be in how the table's set. But that only applies to close couples, not a chef and a first-time diner. Only food goes on the plate. Only food makes a chef. No
matter who I serve, I can put the same smile on their face.
Oh, I see. Dizzy's cooking feels all warm and fuzzy, while Jam's intense dishes blow all my problems away. They each hit differently, but both delight diners with sheer deliciousness without fail. Wait, are they delightful because they're delicious? Or delicious because they're delightful?
Your brain's all mixed up.
Either way, that Prince Charming won't be getting away from you anytime soon.
What if he was so happy he literally jumped for joy, and now he's running back as fast as he can?
I sure wouldn't be surprised.
Now they're both in La La Land. Good grief. In that case, he'd beg for me to feed him every day and pay for it. Or work for me for pocket change and leftovers.
Oh, now that's passion.
Men who can't commit are pathetic. I'll have to knock him down to a 9 out of 10. Okay. He's away. We've got to get him. You got this, Usagi? We will find him, even if it takes us around the world.
All this drama started writing a new song in my soul. Thank you both so much. Jam, I'll stop by your cart later.
That girl's like a whirlwind.
Staggeringly perceptive, explosively emotional. That's Elf for you.
What an interesting family dynamic. Cause like, how does that all work? You love when Alpha waves her arms like that, it's very cute. Yeah, I agree. What was I gonna say? Yeah, the family dynamic of this is really interesting. My favorite side story in Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2, or Rev later in general, involves them discussing that and trying to work out how this actually connects. Because it's like, okay, so if Elfelt and Ramlethal are like attempted recreations of Arya, or like hosts for Arya, then like what is their actual relation to like Dizzy? It's confusing, and they're like trying to parse it out. And then, again, a recurring like bit they do in Xrd is having like Sol and Kai dancing around the idea of being like in-laws with each other. Like Kai has a slight existential crisis at Sol being his father-in-law. And it's considered one of the funniest moments in Xrd. Again, my favorite in the side story in particular, there's a moment before the final battle where Sin's talking about it, and Kai's like, please stop. But there's a moment in the side story in Revelator where like Kai, Dizzy, Elfelt, and Ramlethal are all talking about like, again, their family connections, and then like Sol shows up and Kai's like, oh no, I don't know how to have like a heart-to-heart with Sol about this. And then Sol's just like, let's fight. And Kai's like so relieved that he doesn't actually have to like have a sit-down conversation with Sol about anything serious. Jam has a counter, by the way, which is kind of standard, but I don't land counters in this game very often. Not because it's particularly okay, not because it's particularly hard, just I'm bad at landing counters. Anyway, we got a repeat finally with Lucy. Again, this is the problem with having it as 3 chapters, is it's like doing the same thing 3 times for all the story. That was the other thing. It's like, do I keep all this? Probably, because I'm like weird about editing. Very much like beholden to like old Let's Play style editing. Versus like highlight style editing. I think the new UI is really clean. The only problem I have with the UI is another repeat. The only issue I have with the UI in this update is I kind of wish some more assets got refreshed. Like for example with the eagle, they do have a new little intro bit where like the eagle's at Soul and Jacko's like house. Basically, he's working on his bike, and Jacko's sitting outside, and the eagle flies past her. It's a really cool intro. But I almost feel like this is different than Xrd. Well, I guess that's not actually true.
Please let me go. Big sis is gonna throw a fit.
Oh yeah, Big Sis being Biken. It didn't quite register the first time who she meant, so I was a little bit thrown off by that. It's like, wait, Big Sis, did Bedman transition as a bed? But no, she means Biken. My bad. But yeah. I don't think this is actually plus, but what I meant by this is, even if it's like flawless defense, it pushes back the person blocking so far that it means it's pretty safe. That's what I meant. A lot of Jam's moves are weirdly safe, and that's why I think she's gonna get nerfed, like, in the update in May. Because I don't think she's the most balanced. Again, it almost feels like she was balanced with like Season 4 power levels. But as a season, like, now, Season 5 character where they kind of reset to basics. But like, Strive is weird because like, they actually did a generally like, good toned down update in a way that made like the Tekken community jealous. Like, not even kidding. Like pro Tekken players were like, wow, I see what Strive's doing, and I kind of wish they'd do that for this. So they're getting there with Tekken, to give them credit. Apparently the game is in a better state with the current update. It was like 3.2 or 3.3. That kind of took them, it took that long to kind of get where they were hoping to with like the back to basics approach. But yeah, Tekken is getting there, albeit slowly. Yeah, that's kind of my take on that, where it's like Street Fighter 6, again, I've heard nothing about the balancing of Street Fighter 6. People are only talking about Alex. So, yeah, no clue how balanced Street Fighter 6 is. Ingrid looks ridiculous. I think Ingrid could just completely snap the meta in half. If she says, like, crazy as she looks. Like, it feels like she's out zoning JP, which is bad when he's the main zoner. So that's ominous. Thank you for the hydration check. I'm talking a lot. The funny part is I actually forgot, I think Ingrid is the end of the month, right? I don't even have that season. I think I only have season 2 because I want to play as Mai. But like season 3, the character I'd probably play is Ingrid. I don't really like playing, or for that matter, fighting grapplers.
Delicious food and an amazing yo-yo show. Wouldn't that be a perfect combo?
I don't pay slackers.
Yeah, no, Jam can't get cheap labor out of Bridget anymore, so she doesn't care. Again, a lot of that story is aged interesting. Like, the whole thing about, like, oh wow, like, Bridget's really popular with, like, young women, and it's like, damn, that was kind of, like, prescient in a way. Not the way they meant, but, yeah, no, Bridget is very popular among a female demographic. Just not the way they thought. I've also been forgetting to do 2D, which is that. It's like, I need to be doing that more. Dizzy's 2D just got nerfed to be slower because it was too good of a poke for how long, like, Necro's arm is. It's just a ridiculously poke, so they made it, like, plus, like, 30 something on block. No, wait, they made it come out slower, I think. Either way, you can't spam it as much. Like, at round start, you'd probably get, like, caught by that, by, like, any other move. I think Jacko's 2D was actually nerfed, which was like, oh thank god, I would always get clipped by that every time I fight a Jacko. Like, 2D at round start. It was like a joke between me and a friend who played Strive a lot. Cause yeah, it's just one of Jacko's really like, viable round start options. But yeah. State of fighting games is like weird right now because, like, again, the patch that's gotten the least complaining might actually be Strive's, which feels like a weird timeline to be in. Okay, never mind. She's still trying to get Bridget to work for her. Some things never change. Again, she looks scary in that art, and some that's an improvement. But yeah, Street Fighter 6, it was just the story that was the problem. And then they tried to fix it, quote unquote, to clear up something, and they kind of made it worse. So like, I don't know what they're doing there. And again, Tekken, like, Season 3.0 was like rough. But again, it's apparently turning around, and Kunimitsu is around the corner. So Tekken is actually kind of stabilizing. I think the main concern right now with Ingrid is what kind of weird ass lore they're gonna give her. Are they gonna just drop some weird thing about her that's just gonna spoil all people's enjoyment of this character? Not that people really enjoyed Ingrid much in the first place, to be blunt, because her first game was Capcom Fighting Evolution, which is a very basically official Mugen, for lack of a better term. Like, let's just dump all of our assets into a game, because Capcom Fighting All-Stars got cancelled, which was like, I think a 3D fighting game, don't quote me on that, that was supposed to be Ingrid's like first game. But that got cancelled, so like her actual like only appearance for a long time was literally just Fighting Jam. It was bad. In addition to Fighting Jam, she was in Street Fighter 3 Alpha 3 Max, which was like a PSP version of Alpha 3 that added like 4 extra characters. I forget who the others were. So again, recently, by that I mean like last year, they actually went back into Fighting Collection 2 and added those 4 characters into the arcade version of Street Fighter 3 Upper, which is the one in that collection. Which was like kind of a big deal, because it's like, you know, these characters were stuck on the PSP version all this time. So just, you know, back-porting them into the arcade version essentially is kind of ridiculous, actually. It was really cool, and again, it's like when they announced Ingrid's DLC for Street Fighter 6, it's like, oh well, now we know why they did that, because they need to. There's only so many games you can promote Ingrid with. One really awful one, and just another version of 3 Alpha. Alpha 3, whichever. But the point still stands, it's like, okay, now their choices for Capcom Fighting Collection 2 make sense, because they need, this is just to set up this. It also makes me wonder what with Marvel, if there's any plans for that. Like, if they did the Marvel collection, because they are planning on doing a new MVC, but like, like, Tokon is the big problem with that, because if Tokon exists, like, can two Marvel fighting games exist at the same time and share that, like, you know, like that attention span? I don't actually know, because we never had this problem before. So yeah, I'm of the opinion of like shrug. I'm not qualified to speak on this. But it's interesting, because there are still rumors of eventually getting something Marvel vs. Capcom, but like, I don't know when. Also, it depends on how long Street Fighter 6 lives. It's going strong, but also like, Street Fighter games tend to tap out like 5 seasons, so feasibly, like, Strive is an ancient game by fighting game standards. Like, I don't feel like Dragon Ball FighterZ got that much DLC by comparison. Maybe it just doesn't feel like that much because it's like 9 Gokus. Not to be, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Not dismissive, reductive. But yeah, it's like, how many of the DLC characters in Fighters are just variations of Goku? And yeah, that's the other interesting rumor, is apparently, like, they just added another Goku, which is why I'm thinking about it. And supposedly this patch was not done by ArcSys, which a lot of people note that there's a certain lack of polish. It's still a fun character, but just the polish isn't quite at the same level. So that raises the question of, could we hypothetically get a Dragon Ball FighterZ 2 that's not made by ArcSys? And would that be good? I'd be fascinated, because like, companies have tried that before. Sailor Moon is actually a weird case, where like the first Sailor Moon S is actually straight up an Arxis game. Now that I think about it, and then later versions were a different studio, and not that Sailor Moon S is joke. I don't know. I don't know Japanese language well enough to just internalize the name of that game. But anyway, Sailor Moon S for Super Nintendo. It's not a good fighting game, but like apparently Super S is like really not balanced, and that's saying a lot. Xenoverse 2 lasted 10 years. They just announced Xenoverse 3. And I'm like, okay. I don't know Dragon Ball. So I'm just like, oh, neat, I guess. But I'm also not like an authority on this whatsoever. Alrighty, stage 7, High Slayer. Huh. But yeah, like Arxis is doing work on Grand Blue still. Oh yeah, a new Melty Blood got announced because Evo Japan was last weekend, so that was neat. I didn't really watch a whole lot. I mostly just watched like the Capcom channel restream of Evo because I didn't really want to watch the official channels for reasons. But I actually don't remember much about it. Street Fighter 6 is a game I want to get into though. I thought about doing that for a game clear. World Tour and maybe like some of the arcade modes.
Do you require an escort?
I don't know how long it'd be or if it would blow up my computer. And I don't really want to rebuy the game on like Switch 2 in order to just do like a World Tour run. Because like RE Engine games can be a little heavy on my PC. Like trying to do 2 Remake, I definitely ran into some problems with the randomizer a while back. I didn't drop too many frames, all things considered, not like the 500 I dropped from opening Strive, but it definitely was not ideal. Oh no, Map Punch. Ow. I actually really vibe with Slayer's design in this game. I just am not into this playstyle of character. I don't know why I like Cham so much, because archetypically speaking, I don't know how many Rushdown characters I play. I feel like I don't play that many. Usagi's off screen for this, which is kind of funny. It's fine. This ain't about him. It actually is about him, literally. That's what this whole story mode's for. Except it kind of forgets at the end, but we'll get into that. There are headcanons at the moment that Usagi could just be Answer from Guilty Gear Xrd, because like in terms of like handsome guys that would be Jam's type who wear glasses, in terms of existing characters, yeah, no, Answer kind of fits the bill. I don't know if it would be though, because like what would they do there? Also there's this, I guess the question of Robokai, will they still be voiced by Sayu as a full character? If so, which Robokai even will he be? Because it could just be any Robokai to justify Venom still having the main Robokai, essentially. Also, why does Robokai's hair look like that in this game? But he's also got like the suit going on, so it's like it's hard to tell what they're doing with Robokai from the very little we've seen of his design. We'll probably get that maybe at end of Combo Breaker. Latest would be Evo, I would expect. I don't know if they'd announced Robokai Combo Breaker, now that I think about it. Anyway, we're gonna take a quick ad break, because there's gonna be a lot of cutscene and stuff. So we're gonna do an ad break, come back, and continue this. Alrighty, let's finish up chapter 2. Hi, Happy Chaos. I wasn't expecting you for some reason. I think our opponents for chapters 1 and 2 are like completely random, because I definitely did not get Happy Chaos the first time through. I mean, I didn't get Faust the first time through either, because I think it's more about the supporting characters, which in this case are Dizzy and I almost said Asphalt, Elphelt, versus like about the actual character we're fighting, which is kind of an interesting way to go about it. It's a very different story mode, but I kind of like. Oh hi, right, you approach from behind.
Already read the synopsis.
Yeah?
Sheesh, I don't have time for this.
Jam versus Chaos.
Alrighty, are we jumping into it? Okay, we're just jumping into it, cool. I don't expect the CPU to do the infinite. I might eat my words, but I just don't think that's gonna happen. It's always fascinating when it happens with gestures at like most fighting games of a certain era. 30 stream streak, that's impressive. Also speaking of impressive, I was not expecting to get a perfect on Happy Chaos. Jam is not great against zoners in this game. Yeah, a lot of fighting games have infinites that they don't catch, and it's fascinating that they never catch them. Like, I don't think most games go in intending to give a character an infinite. It just kind of happens. And Happy Chaos getting an infinite is just like very funny because this was supposed to be the patch to basically break his kneecaps. Because he's been so dominant in this game for so long. So giving him an infinite by accident is just very funny. Mind you, as broken as Happy Chaos tends to be, to play devil's advocate slightly, he's also very hard to play, from what I gather.
We're almost to the market. See? Over there.
How lively. Oh, I didn't realize it was so close to the meeting hall. I should have no problems getting home.
Are you sure?
I understand now, Usagi. It's not that you're captivated by Jam's cooking, but you're looking for a clue. Jam's cooking did surprise you, but that's because eating it transformed you into a whole other creature. But you seem to be the only victim so far, so Jam's cooking itself may have nothing to do with it. Which means every town's market is different. That must make for exciting travels, Jam.
Yeah, when I find special ingredients, I make special dishes at special prices. Recently, I found this legendary herb and made a dish any chef in the universe would drool over. But I only had enough for one serving. That hottie scarfed it down and split. Maybe he realized how much it was going to cost him.
I see. He must have been quite the gourmand.
Game over.
So, yeah, that's what happened to the guy.